Hello. I'm on again. Um, I kind of watched over my last one and I realized I called Troy Travis. I apologize about that. um, so if you watch this one, I'm sorry for calling you Travis. Um, it, it, I, I'm happy. I'm still getting views. Not very many, none. But I'm not complaining. Um, you know, I really don't have much to talk about. I mean, I'm not one to. Well, I say it all the time in my um, posts. So saying it in video. I am I have schizoaffective disorder. It's schizophrenia. I see things when I'm not taking my meds. I still say I still see things, just not as much. Um, but hey, who in this world isn't crazy, right? Hi, Robin. What's up? I'm getting ready to talk about my schizophrenia, so unless you got something you want to chit chat about. So, I found out I had schizophrenia when I was 33, 34. But about a year and a half after I found out I had one kidney. And when I found out I had it, they didn't say it was schizoaffective. They just said I had a form of schizophrenia. Okay. But shouldn't I be on the medication, you know? And he said, "Well, you're on Wellbutrin. That should be okay." And I'm like, "That's for that's for That's for my manic depressive, not for schizophrenia. So I was confused. That's Meridian for you, apparently. Finally, well, how many years later? 10 years later, when I get together with, after I was with Sabrina for 4 years. Yeah, I think I was with Sabrina for 4 or 5 years when I had my first stroke. First, second, and third stroke, I should say. And that's when I got my insurance. And that's when I was able to get by that's when I was able to get help. When I started talking to a counselor, this was before the pandemic, so we talked in person. What a strange concept. I went for 2 to 3 years, and then my psychiatrist, not my counselor, but my psychiatrist gave me the med I needed for my schizophrenia, because he saw me and he said, "Oh, okay, well, you're schizophrenic." And then about 6 months later, he had me back in, and he said, "Okay, we need to see what kind of schizophrenia you have." And he started asking me questions, but he didn't. He didn't. Some of the questions didn't quite make sense. I don't know. So I start talking to. So I stopped going to Meridian Muncie, just flat out. because they weren't really making any sense at all. But the doctor kept up with my meds. Until probably 2019. That's when he stopped sending them. So during the pandemic, I didn't have my sites. I had the Wellbutrin, but I had no schizophrenia medicine. So I was seeing things everywhere. We'd be driving down the street and I'd be like, is there somebody in the road? And she wouldn't see him. I wouldn't talk to anybody except for Sabrina because I didn't know if they were real or not. I need, it's when you don't trust your eyes, you can't really trust anything. So finally, I go to Meridian Anderson just after the pandemic. That doctor put me on my medication again, and another one, and a third one. It was great. I hardly seen anything at all. Every so often I would see my little cat. And probably the only reason I have seen the cat was because we have cats. And at this very moment, I can see the cat. She's sitting right here next to me. And I've had my meds. And the psychiatrist at Anderson said I was schizoaffective because I was able to tell him everything I saw, and the gold flags told him I was schizoaffective. And I can see other things that normal schizophrenics don't see. And schizoaffective isn't as dangerous as schizophrenia. they're not known to go psychotic, so I'm not a danger to society. That was a joke. I'm not a danger. No. So there was a time in there where I wasn't able to get my meds. Actually, a couple times. I'm on my meds again. And I'm doing okay. I can see things. I still don't like the dark because I know what I've seen in the dark. I'm a 50-year-old man and I'm afraid of the dark. Just as much as I'm afraid of bees, I'm afraid of the dark. And I'm 50. I'm near 50. Just because I'm schizophrenic. I'm also manic depressive. There's a lot more than just sad and mopey to deal with manic depressive. There's a lot going on with that. There's 100 different emotions that goes along with that. And it being mixed with schizophrenia is what makes it schizoaffective. Don't ask. I haven't looked into it yet. I just live in this body. I'm just experiencing it. I don't need to know what it is. Maybe I should to let other people know what it is. I know what I've gone through. Seven different emotions at once. Sad and happy at the same time. I've cried many times on several different topics. People will tell you I have issues with my temper and getting mad over stupid stuff. I'm trying to change that. I mean, as I said yesterday, at any moment, So, to be able to live your life. You can't really look at it like that. Like that. But but at the same time, I think my adventuring days are behind me. I'd like to go. There's places I'd like to go, and there's places I'd like to go back to. And there's things I'd like to do. Recently, I've been watching videos of YouTubers staying in fire towers. That would be cool. Some of the YouTubers are older than I am to do it. I'd like to get healthier again, just to be able to do other things I used to want to do. But I know some of the things I wanted to do, I'll never be able to do. Not in this lifetime. Let's take these off. I mean, I was talking to my mom today, and we were talking about my name, Michael Gene Kirk. And I was supposed to be William Gene Kirk. But my dad said, no, my grandfather's name is not William Gene. Well, William, it is Washington. But I learned something new about my own name. I was named after Michael Huber. Hats off to you, Mike. I didn't know I was named after you. I had no idea. But I was originally supposed to be named after Grandpa Burgess, William Gene. And I've always thought about changing my name to William Gene. I just found out that I'm named after Mike. but nothing against. But the funny thing is, okay, there's one person in our family named Mike, but there's 7 people in our family named Bill or William. That's on both sides of the family. Well, okay, no, I can't say family. I say friends and family. There are friends named Mike, don't get me wrong. But only one relative named Mike. I like you, Mike. Don't get me wrong. I like you. You're a good guy. I probably will never change my name to William. But it's always been a thought in my head. But William Gene is my George William Burgess and my dad's grandfather, and Gene Clemens, my mom's dad. Plus there's her brother. Her brother's named Bill Martin. And there's some other friends. They weren't till well after I was born, so really they're not a thing in this conversation. And they're my friends, they're not really family friends. Besides, what would I do to start being called Bill? Or probably Will. Like I told Mom, I said because of Star Trek, I'd probably go by Will. Yeah, this one's been kind of boring, hasn't it? So Cal Raleigh, yeah, hit his 60th home run yesterday. He's a beast. Yeah. First Mariner catcher to go past 4 home runs in a single season, and he's got 60 in a single season. That's crazy. Of course, my team is the A's. We, as in the A's, have now got the greatest rookie in history. Not just in baseball, but in sports in general. Nick Kurtz. He has outpaced the Babe and Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, Mark McGwire, Ken Griffey Jr. He's outpaced everybody in his rookie year. Plus, he had a perfect game. 4 home runs and 3